best defense is playing in their zone. Don't let them have time in your zone. So make sure you try to keep them down low in their own zone, and that's how you defend them, honestly.
Like you said, you haven't played against him yet, but you've watched Gaudreau on TV, I'm sure, for years. What just your thoughts on the way a smaller guy can be so effective?
Yeah, he's just really shifty. I remember watching him at World Juniors with my brother, and no one had really known about him yet, and that was kind of his coming out party. He's just, he's a small, quick guy. I think he's one of those guys you might take your eye off for a quick sec and then he hurts you. So you got to make sure you're on him at all times and you know where he is on the ice. And if you're on the ice against him, you got to play him hard.
Your first opportunity to do this. You've been playing a lot of minutes. You have a chance to be a big part of this tonight. How exciting is that?
Yeah, it's fun. I've seen on TV the Battle of Alberta before. It's going to be exciting to be a part of, especially Saturday night here in Edmonton. It should be a fun environment. These games are always fun, so it should be exciting.
Is every game still an education for you?
Yeah,
you haven't played that team before.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure. I think I've played Vancouver now 3 times. Yeah. I've kind of gotten against them. You know what I mean? It's kind of just another game. But yeah, every team I haven't played usually throws something different at you. So you kind of got to be on your toes and be ready for it.
Do you do any video before the game to watch, or you just watch? Maybe if you're playing that team, maybe you watch.
We do video before the game. We go over some of their key players, their tendencies. So you are prepared. But like I said, it's a quick game out there, so a lot of stuff comes fast. So you got to be ready for it.
So were you Branson?
Trying to produce, but knowing they can bite you too.
Yeah, they're obviously a really skilled team. They score lots of goals. They have scoring up and down their lineup. Their power play's been real good, so we have our hands cut out our work cut out for us, and we got to figure out a way to shut them down.
You guys have pieced a couple of wins together here. Obviously, it would be nice to build on that. Do you feel like you're turning the corner, and how much of an opportunity is this tonight against this team?
Yeah, obviously it's a big game. We've been able to win a couple in a row here. Getting a third would be nice. Obviously a tough opponent though.
What are you guys doing well in the last 2 wins you guys have put together? Maybe you're doing better than maybe before when it wasn't going so well results-wise.
It's hard to put your finger on it. I don't know what it would be. You look at the Buffalo game, we just found a way to get a couple of bounces, and that's hockey. Sometimes you get bounces, sometimes you don't, and that game we did. And in Vancouver, I thought we did a good job of playing a nice tight game. I didn't give up too many chances, and when we did, we had a goalie that was there to back us up. So it's a pretty good recipe.
That's when you guys are at your best, when you're playing tight?
Yeah, we're not a team that scores a lot of goals. We don't. We're not going to go out and win 6-4 or 5-4, whatever. We're a team that needs to win 2-1, 3-2, those type of games. So when we're playing solid defensively, that's when we're our best.
What challenges do the Flames present for you guys tonight?
Obviously, they're good offensively. They're fast. They got a good back end that jumps in the rush, and they bring 4 or 5 in the rush every time. So it's going to be important to back check.
And in the third period, did they win so many games because they're just so confident in the third period?
I don't know what that is, but they're obviously strong in the third period. They're confident playing from behind. They've done it to us this year. They've done it the past 2 games, so they're never out. They have that belief, and they find ways to come back in games. I think that's what makes a good team is they can find ways to win games where they maybe shouldn't, where they were down and out. And these guys have been doing it, and they're obviously a good team. So if you have them down, you got to make sure that you stay on your game.
You've played against Johnny Gaudreau a lot. You played with him at the World Cup. What makes him a special player?
He's obviously so shifty. He's not the biggest guy in the world, obviously, but he's so good with the puck, so smart, can turn on a dime. He's definitely a tough check.
Connor, Hitch has mentioned to us when he talks about controlling the lines on the ice and understanding them. I don't know if he uses that lingo with you guys, but if so, is that a different way he's communicated to you than other coaches, and what does that mean to you?
It's just a different way of saying manage the puck and don't turn it over. We got to be good with the puck on the lines. I think that's key to any game. You can't be turning the puck over in the middle, especially at the blue line. So, thanks.
the Flames, obviously they're a challenge. What makes them difficult to defend against?
Yeah, they have obviously a lot of skill, especially that first line's got a lot of skill. Their D are very active, so you're not just facing 3 guys in the rush, you're facing 4, sometimes 5 even. So they present a good challenge. It's got to be a good team defensively. We have to be good tonight because, like I said, it's not just 3 guys coming at you on the rush. You got 4 or 5, and they make you pay. They make you pay, especially when you turn over the puck, or especially when you give them too much time in the ozone.
Gaudreau specifically, smaller player, but still finds a way to produce and find his space.
Yeah, he's crafty. He's one of those guys that anytime you give him an inch, he finds a way to make a play. Finds his teammates. That line, him and Monty work so well together. Just find each other in open spaces. So it's a tough challenge for everyone.
No point in a game against the Flames can you feel comfortable. Is that fair? Just they come back. Their comebacks in the third period. Their confidence sort of to not be out of it at all. Yeah,
they're never out of a game. Especially that started even from early on in the season. You see them down two goals with 10 minutes left. You can never count them out. They find a way to win games. So that's why they're one of the top teams in the league right now. And it's a team that's very dangerous to make you pay, and it's going to be a good challenge for us and one that we're excited for.
Darnell, you guys are coming off back-to-back wins for the first time in about a month. It's been a little back and forth with wins and losses. How important is getting a W and maybe keeping this ball rolling in the locker room and it's part of the morale for the team?
Yeah, this is an important game for us. Obviously there's a little more importance when you play within your own division. You're playing a team that obviously it's built a good rivalry over the years. So it's a big game, and that everything in the past and everything in the future kind of you put to the side and just worry about the 60 minutes that we got to play at night.
Thanks, Darnell.
Thanks, Darnell.
Just condolences to Peter Watts and his family. And I knew Peter a long time ago, and we had a lot of debate and dialogue about the game of hockey. And I'm sure, like you folks that know him well, he's going to be missed. He was a really good person and a really good person for our sport. So just wanted to let that. I missed it yesterday, and lots going on, but didn't want to miss it today.
Thanks, Ken. Just to the Flames and this resilient nature that they seem to be showing over and over again, and how that presents a challenge for their opponents, that the game never seems to be over.
Well, what makes Calgary good is that they're willing to work for their chances. They're not trying to skill their way into chances to score. They work. Last night's a perfect example. The goals they scored in the third period, they battled for space and they battled for ice, and they took it, and they've got the ability to finish. And when you look at their games that they win in comebacks or they score goals, they do it because they're willing to go into the hard scoring areas and get the job done. So I don't want to say it's a very unique team. There are 4 or 5 teams like that in the league right now that can score because they've got competitive scoring people, not just people who have skill. And if you look at a lot of the goals they score, they're nice goals and they're in close goals, but they're going into all those areas that you have to go into if you want to score goals.
Can you just speak to Johnny Gaudreau specifically, smaller player yet still finds so much offense and space out there?
Well, he finds offense because he's patient where most people are nervous. He's not afraid to play in the middle of the rink. And we've got a skilled player who's not afraid to play in the middle of the rink. That's dangerous. It's hard to defend because he's using 85 feet, not 40 feet. And he's a very effective player because of that. When you've got skilled small players that are willing to play inside the dots, that becomes dangerous to try to check because, first of all, you need a lot of numbers back to check it. And secondly, if he's got vision, he's going to make plays off the rush, and that's what he does. He kills you. If you make a checking error off the rush, he kills you with the plays he can make.
And Sam Bennett was the 4th player picked in the draft, so is Jesse. Do you see any similarities there? And a lot of people who were looking at Sam for the first 3 years said, when are we going to see the player who's the 4th player picked in the draft? And eventually it looks like he's maybe found the way he can play and be productive.
Well, there was a lot of talk last year about Sam, and not positive. And I think at the end of the day, you can't really judge what a player was in junior offensively. Like sometimes guys they're really good as junior players offensively, and it doesn't translate into the NHL. But if he can check and he works and he competes at the puck, there's going to be a place for him in our game. Now, it might not be as a top 3 player. It might be as a 7, 8, 9 forward or a 5, 6 defenseman. But as long as he competes at the puck and he stays with it, there's room for him. And that, to me, is Jesse's calling card right now. And when he does it, he's very effective. And his energy in the last 2 games has slipped for the simple reason that it does with a lot of younger guys. It's hard. It's really hard at this time of year. They're getting worn down. You got to find a chance to give them a breath. But I like the things that he brings to our hockey club because selfishly, what he does is helps us win. When he checks and he's on the puck like he is, it helps us win. I don't know where his offense is going to go. Sometimes it looks like it's going to really be dynamic, and sometimes it looks like it's too slow for effectiveness right now at this age. But you never know when that stuff comes. But he helps us win games, and that's why I like having him in the lineup.
Ken, you've had a chance to work with Connor McDavid for a while now. How do you think you'd characterize him as for his leadership abilities? And is there anyone that he reminds you of throughout your years in coaching in the NHL?
The part I like about what Connor does is he really defends the players first. So if there's any discussion, he's got the players back. And I think that's really unique for a young guy. He's figured that out where he'll battle on defending the players, on defending that they're doing the right stuff. And I love that in a captain, and I love it in his captaincy. I find him a lot like Modano was, but at a much younger age. Mo figured this stuff out when he was 27, 28. Connor's got it figured out at 22, 23, which is really unique. But I love the fact that the way he defends the guys and the way he defends what they're trying to do in a real positive way. And I think it endears him to the rest of the players and quite frankly, the coaching staff, because it's a very unique quality, maturity-wise, to have this at such a young age. It's going to really hold him in good stead moving forward.
Ken, Matthew Tkachuk has an ability to get under the skin of his opponents. What's the best way to handle that? Is it to ignore them, to engage them, do something else?
I would say best way right now would be trade the sweater, put the old man in the sweater, because I know the old man can't play. I've seen him. And, yeah, today's old man. So to me, he's a guy, you know, as an opposition coach, you don't like him, but you'd love to have him on your team. And I like the fact that he's a throwback. He's a throwback. You see in the little quotes that you read, he's got a lot of his dad in him. His dad's got a no-nonsense approach to competitiveness. That's what you loved about Walt. And his young son's got the same qualities. So you like that. Anything that, to me, with a younger player has that throwback mentality towards competition, you know is going to hold him in a good place for a long time in this league.